Hey everybody, Nate Eaton here at
No, he's not.
at CrimeCon with Nancy
No, he's
Grace.
not. Don't believe this guy.
You've been to how many CrimeCons?
5 that I can remember.
5. And is this your favorite?
You know what? Every year I think it's my favorite.
Because I'm here.
That
Yes.
too.
So you've been you've been a prosecutor.
Mm-hmm.
You've hosted a television show, your podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like best out of all of it?
Being a mom. I like that the best of all of it.
Yeah. Is there one case you've covered over the years that still sticks with you to this day?
There's so many. People ask me all the time, what's your favorite case? Like it's a favorite book or a favorite movie. And I know they don't mean it that way, but it's hard to think of violent crime as anything favorite. I don't really care about one case more than I've cared about the other because I honestly care about all of them. Several stick with me that have not been solved. One in particular is the case of Chucky Mock. He was a little boy in Warner Robins, Georgia, that asked his mother could he ride his bike to the corner store and get some candy. And he was approached by a white male who I think was trying to lure him to the car. And when Chucky wouldn't go, he shot him in the head and killed him. That's never been solved, and it has always bothered me.
Switching gears to the Daybell case, Lori Vallow was found competent, and she went to court last week, and she did not want to enter a plea, so her attorney asked the judge to enter a plea on her behalf.
The attorney could have saved their breath because the defendants... What? Hey! We're doing an interview over here, people.
We'll be there next.
Because under the Constitution, it is accepted that if a defendant will not enter a plea, the judge orders a not guilty for them. You know, save me the drama, please.
And she asked to be called Lori Daybell, not Vallow.
Then I'll make sure I call her Lori Vallow.
Okay.
Because I don't, I keep thinking about Tammy Daybell. I think a lot about Tammy Daybell, who's kind of like collateral damage in this whole thing. I don't know. That's just a nerve to me that Lori Vallow wants that last name that they killed Tammy Daybell to get, and I don't like that.
Your book is Don't Be a Victim.
Yes.
What's the number one tip you can give to people watching?
You know, this is going to sound corny, but you've got to be ever vigilant, and that's hard to do. In fact, when I was coming here, I went to the airport and my flight was delayed 3 hours, but I was already there. Nobody was at the house. There's no need going back home. So I sat in a dark parking garage at the airport. Nobody was around, and answered a bunch of emails and texts before I went in the airport. And then it hit me, what am I doing? I'm violating every rule in my book. So then, I got myself out of there. But it's so easy to be lulled into a false sense of complacency. And I think that's how a lot of people become victims. Predators look for someone who's not paying attention or not aware. And I think a lot of crime could be averted for that one thing.
Crime Stories is the podcast. You can catch it on Sirius XM,
Sirius
Fox Nation.
XM 111, Fox Nation. It is a freestanding podcast, and you can always find it at crimeonline.com.
Thank you, Nancy.
Well, wait, I'm just awed talking to the great Nate Eaton. If he is who he says he is. I do a lot
That's the question.
on air where I don't see the person. For all I know, you're not Nate Eaton.
I could not. Maybe I'm not. Guess we'll see.
It's very mysterious.
I got to tell you, the last time I did your show, an hour before I was at the gym, I woke up at 5 because you tape early in our time, and I fell off a box. It fell out from under me, and I hit my elbow, and I stood up, and then I passed out and I knocked my tooth. And I was in such pain. I still came home, and I called into the show, and
Jackie,
I was worried I was going to pass out.
Nate Eaton was at the gym and
my
fell,
life.
hit his elbow, and broke his tooth, and then came and did our program.
An hour later.
And just correction,
So-
it's not a show.
Program.
There are no trick ponies. These are real
Podcast.
people that
True.
have had real suffering in their lives, Nate Eaton.
That's right.
And speaking of Lori Vallow, very often her whole case takes on kind of a carnival atmosphere. But if you're ever lulled into joining the carnival, remember JJ and Tylee.
And Tammy.
And Tammy.
And Charles.
And Charles.
Yeah.
And God only knows who else.
Yeah. Thank you, Nancy.
Bye, guys.